Hello, friends. My name is Edward O'Mara, and this is the Rot Gut Review. And today, we're going to be asking a question I never thought I'd have to ponder. And that's, is Booker's still worth it? Alright, so you'll notice that I am not joined by my dear, wonderful, significant other, Erica, today. For the simple fact that she doesn't actually really care for Booker's. Her opinion has always been that she wouldn't buy Booker's if given the opportunity to have anything else. So her part of it's already answered. I, on the other hand, I like Booker's. I've always really liked Booker's. This is my particular favorite batch right here. This is 2016-06. This is No Hard Times. I really like Booker's, and I like this one in particular because, well, it's very, very strong, big, huge flavor. I also think it really does lean into a lot of that dry spiciness that I really love. Now, sometimes that's some rye spiciness and herbaceous quality that I get, for example, with this bottle. Or it could be the tannic, chewy spiciness of, just that big blast of oakiness. I dig it. I really dig it. But the other day, I brought home this. This is Pigskin, 2020-04. And me and Erica cracked it open. I gave Erica a little bit. And we weren't all that impressed. At least on the neck pour. I've got some here. I'm going to do a second look at it. We'll see what I think now. But yeah, we weren't that impressed. And I've been hearing some murmurings amongst people that they're a little disillusioned with Booker's at this point. Obviously, a couple years ago, there was a much ballyhooed incremental price change. Originally, they said it was just going to go into the 2017 batches with a $99 recommended price tag. That actually became a more incremental price tag over time. But we are firmly in the days of high-priced Booker's at this point. At my local store, the retail on this was $99.99. Now, obviously, that may be different where you are. That may be different depending on what store you go to. I work for a very small family-run store. Our prices are generally not quite as good as some of the big box stores. We just can't buy as many cases. It may be different depending on where you're shopping. However, wherever you are, there has been a marked increase in price over the last few years for buying Booker's. Now, over the course of these last 3 years of these incremental price increases, blah, 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 where we are now at this point of high-priced Booker's, has the quality remained consistent? And if it has remained consistent, is that enough reason to keep buying it at this higher price? This was something Eric and I were discussing when we drank the neck pour off this Pigskin here. She asked me, Eddie, if you had to pay full price for this, would you still buy it? So you got to remember, because I work at a liquor store, I get an employee discount. And the employee discount I get for Booker's and just for whiskey in general is incredibly generous. The people who own the store take care of us pretty good that way. I'm not going to give you exact numbers because, my bosses probably don't want me talking about pricing structure and whatnot. But I've been buying them at a discount. And Erica made me think about, well, wait a minute. If I wasn't blessed enough to have that opportunity, would I still be so gung-ho about Booker's? Which I know, oh no, the horror. I had to think about what the rest of you guys are paying. I know, I'm privileged, I'm sorry. But it made me think. If I had to pay the actual $100 that we were selling it for at our store, would I still be buying it? And that's what we're going to figure out today. Now, I've already got a feeling I know which way I'm leaning, but let's take a look at Pigskin real quick and confirm, all right? So to start out with, we've got the usual Booker's information on the label, right? This is 6 years old, 7 months, 7 days, 63.65% alcohol. A big, big son bitch. I love it. And of course, it's named Pigskin batch in honor of gridiron American football, or hand egg, if you're being really technical about it. And you know what? Smelling this, it smells pretty damn good. I will say it runs pretty caramely, pretty vanilla-y. I think this smells pretty sweet. There's a touch of an underlying kind of bitter walnutty thing, but for the most part, this does lean into a lot of those sweeter flavors. Not exactly the thing that I really love personally, but then again, I'm more of a rye drinker, so this may be exactly what you're looking for. Nice, sweet, caramely, oaky, touch of nuttiness. Who knows? That carries through on the taste. It has a very, I was going to say like a caramel dipped chocolate cookie kind of taste going for it. It is backed up with some of that tannic chewiness, for sure. On the back end, there's some of that nice spicy wood. But for the most part, this is a caramel chipped vanilla icing goddamn cookie. Which, again, that may be what you love. Not exactly what I love. On the other hand, when we go back to 2016 over here with our little No Hard Times, I gotta say, I love this nose so much more. I really do. I really do. It's much more herbal. It's got that kind of vegetal quality that reminds me of that rye spice. I think that's so good. There's this light fruitiness. It's this really light fruitiness, like kind of an orangey, zesty thing, mixed with a bunch of that kind of just like garden spices, stuff you could grow yourself. Thyme, rosemary, little bit of coriander, little bit of pepper, all backed up with some nice heat. Got that nice black pepper finish. I love it. It's great. It's great. But that's the thing. We're comparing batches, right? So different batches may be better or worse, and they may be better or worse based on your personal preferences. But trying to ignore those little variations and thinking about the product line as a whole and what you would pay, taking a flyer on a bottle, not knowing whether you would like it or not. Would I pay $100 to take a flyer on this? And the answer is no. It's definitely no. And I think part of the reason I say no is because this exists. This is Little Book. Which Little Book is this? Chapter 4, I think? Yeah, Chapter 4. Of the 4 Little Books, I really like this one. I don't know what your guys' opinions of it are. Whatever, I don't care. I mean, I do. But I like it, is the point. And I've liked all the Little Books. And I feel like they're more experimental. They're more weird. They do different things. They're freaky. And they're just pretty much always goddamn good quality, right? There's going to be variation. There's going to be differences between Little Books. However, they're pretty much always going to be some kick-ass, weird, cool shit. Whereas with Booker's, some of it's going to be good, some of it's going to be okay. It's consistent, but is it anything super exciting and weird and different? I don't think so. And I picked this up, and I think retail on this was, $125 recommended? So you're paying $30, maybe $40 more, depending on your market and where you are, for this than you are for this. I gotta say, paying $40 more for a super premium product that you know is gonna be different and crazy and weird and have some bespoke coolness to it, that's a lot better than paying $100 for something that's consistent, but maybe kind of boring and not always gonna blow your goddamn socks off. So Beam's kind of given us this super cool premium experimental option to compare to their slightly less premium option. And I feel like the slightly less premium option is found wanting. Now that's not to say you should never ever buy Booker's again. I think there are definitely going to be some standout batches, some really great batches. If you hear about them, go grab them. But at this point, if you got to pay full price for Booker's and you're taking a flyer on it, and you could be putting that money somewhere else, I just don't see it, man. Especially if you're feeling like, oh, I got to go out and buy all 4 every year. I don't think that's worth it, man. I just don't. I just don't think you're necessarily going to get the quality that $100 demands, or you're going to get the cool different variation between batch to batch that would be worth kicking out $100 for each batch and comparing them. But again, if you hear that a batch is super cool and super awesome and it sounds exactly like what you want to drink, yeah, fucking hey, go out and buy that shit, for sure. I just think the auto buy, take a flyer on every single Booker's batch, I just don't think that's worth it. But shit, man, I get a discount, so I'm gonna keep on buying them anyway. No big deal. Anyway, I get the feeling that some people are going to agree, some people are definitely going to disagree with me on this. That's fine. Let me know what you think in the comments. Is Booker's still worth it? Are you planning to buy up all the Bookers you possibly can? Or has your Booker's love cooled a little bit and maybe you're not so interested anymore? Either way, make sure to like the video, subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, stay rotten.